Ren from Hallowed Be Thy Game, and today I'm going to share with you my recent video game pickups. Let's check it out. Welcome back to a special episode of Hallowed Be Thy Game. Thank God I don't make these a regular occurrence because I bought too many video games. I'm going to be sharing with you, in my defense, some games I forgot to share with you in my last video that were from Christmas and towards the end of last year, all the way up to just something I got in the mail today. I'm very excited to dive in and share this pickups video with you. It's definitely the biggest pickups video I've ever shared, so I hope you enjoy it. And if you do enjoy these pickups type video, you can let me know by liking and subscribing and just maybe share the video. It really helps out the channel so much. And I want to thank everybody just for the channel growth here lately. It is extremely humbling. But in today's video, we got a little bit of everything from PSP, VITA, PS1, some imports, just some wild and crazy hidden gems. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and dive right in. Now, not everything I got was just a video game, and starting off strong is Lyn from Fire Emblem. I have been wanting this figure for so long, and I'm going to come clean. The hype of Fire Emblem Engage got real, and I realized I didn't have any Fire Emblem in the collection in terms of figures. So I wanted to go ahead and pick up Lyn, and she looks phenomenal. I mean, this run, the detail, the coloring, everything is very lush and sharp. I love the pose that she's in, and she was an extremely easy figure to put together, which is something I very much appreciate. As much as I love Gantz, oh my lord, getting those figures together without breaking them was a nightmare. But anyways, excellent figure. Now, we covered it in my most recent Hidden Gems video, but yes, Blacksmith of the Sand Kingdom. I picked this up a little while ago. Phenomenal game. I truly consider this to be a hidden gem that's going under the radar, and I'm hoping that this one gets a little bit more notoriety, but I think great games like this need to get a little bit more light in the sun. This is an Atelier clone. You're going to be running a shop. The jrpg mechanics and pixel art in this is fantastic. Highly recommended. Now, I went and picked up a fighting game. I don't know why. I can't learn just to stay away. I'm so bad at them, but gosh, look, the fan service, everything, this game is just over the top. I've always heard about this game, and when I heard it got ported to Switch, or at least the sequel, I'll be honest, I don't know very much at all about this game, other than I love the way it looks. And unfortunately, when it comes to fighting games, that's all the draw I have because I'm so bad at them. But I'm excited to report back on this one. And I finally picked up Mary Skelter 2 and Mary Skelter Finale for the Switch. I missed picking these up on Vita, and I've kicked myself, but I was very, very risky, and I waited a very long time to pick up these games finally for the Switch. But with Tark's Gauntlet's videos on this series, I've just always been intrigued, and I've been in a massive first-person dungeon crawler mood here lately. And the really excellent thing about Mary Skelter 2 is it comes with the first one as well, but it is a download code. But hey, I finally have all three of them on the Switch. I'm excited to jump into these, and I'll be sure to report back to you in the future what I think of these, but I'm extremely hopeful. Everybody I know and trust when it comes to jrpgs is a massive fan of these games, and I am confident I'm going to have fun with them. Now, a rather odd thing I've been wanting to do over the past couple months is pick up every Final Fantasy game that's available physically on the Switch. Spoiler alert, I pre-ordered the Pixel Remaster, and I wanted to pick up some of the older titles. So I did pick up the 7/8 double pack physical copy for Final Fantasy. I'm ecstatic to have my favorite game physically on the Switch, as well as Final Fantasy IX. And I'm going to be honest, it's very difficult for me to not just say that Final Fantasy IX could very well be one of the greatest JRPGs ever made. I'm extremely, extremely hopeful that the remake rumors are not just rumors and that we'll see it happen. I also love how they have this weird display style for this. I've only ever seen it one other time with Romance Saga on the Switch, so I love that they did that for Final Fantasy IX. And I just beat Final Fantasy X and X-2. I have a lot of feelings about this game that I don't really want to get into on a pickups video. Obviously, it's one of the greatest video games ever made, but this one just hit a little too close to home for me. It was my late brother's favorite game of all time, and it was a magical experience, and I'm finally happy after almost 2 decades to finally be able to beat it again. And I picked up Smelter. You're shocked, I bet. But what's cool is I did get they had these pre-order bonuses, and they were giving out different standees for it, but I was very happy to get this figurine. I still have the collector's edition pre-order for this. This is one of the greatest Mega Man clones on the Switch, a total hidden gem, and one of my favorite games on the console, a must-own. Now, this is one I took a risk on because I haven't heard much of anything about it, but I love the way it looks, and I'll be honest, you just gotta go with your gut sometime, and Afterimage is looking right up my alley. This is one I'll be sure to report back on if I have fun with it, and maybe you'll see it in a future video. Now, I love Fairy Fencer Advent Dark Force on Switch. I've shouted out before, much to some people's dismay. I had to pick up the newest Fairy Fencer game. I'm so sad I haven't been able to play this yet. It just came in the mail a few days ago, so I'm excited to be able to dive into this and just experience more of Fairy Fencer. Now, Ultra Age is one I've talked about briefly on the channel before. This is a phenomenal, high-octane, pushing it to the wall action RPG. I think this is an excellent game, and I'm so stoked it got a physical release. I believe you can still get this on Amazon. Definitely a tough game, but one that I think has just a wealth of fun to be had. Totally check this one out if you haven't heard of this one before. Ultra Age slaps, and it gets the Hallowed Be Thy Game seal of approval. Now, I've talked about it quite a bit on the channel, so I'm not going to belabor the point here, but I did pick up a while back, it feels like, Hero Must Die Again physically. Phenomenally weird game. I did showcase this on my top 10 weird and obscure games. This is essentially a roguelite JRPG where you play through the last 5 days of this hero's life, and you can try to make different pathways to get the ultimate true ending. Really wild game if you're looking for something to mix up the formula. And yes, I did pick up Grimoire, the Vanillaware. It just sucked me in. This is sadly one of the few Vanillaware games I've never played, so I'm ecstatic to get into this one. I hear this kind of plays like a MOBA tower defense style game. I don't know too much about this game or how it plays, but I love Vanillaware, and I'm confident I'm going to be having a unique, fun time with it. And you knew I had to pick up Atelier Ryza 3, and I am so ashamed to say I have not been able to get to this one yet. It's been a little bit of cuckoo bananas time in my life right now. We're getting ready for my second son to be born, but I am hopeful in the coming days, as soon as I knock out The Legend of Dragoon as of the filming of this video, I'm hoping to be able to get to this one very soon. I'm loving everything I'm seeing about this, and I can't wait to see the end to the Ryza trilogy. I beat Metroid Prime, finally. It only took however many console generations, and I'm embarrassed that I waited this long. But I gotta say, Nintendo slapped it, knocked it straight out of the park. A discounted release, physical. The game, you could have probably gotten away with calling this sucker a remake by just how gorgeous it looks and performs. One of the best games on the Switch, and it stands the test of time. A must-play game. Don't be like me and wait forever to play Metroid Prime. Good golly. And Eiyuden Chronicle Rising, I did pick this up physically. I honestly forgot I had pre-ordered this one. It just took so long to get here. But I'm happy to finally have this physically. I think this is a great game, but I'm extremely excited and impatiently waiting for Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes finally to come out. But yes, this is a great prequel to that, and I can't wait to see what this series and franchise becomes. And I finally went ahead and jumped into the Blue Reflection games. Now, you're seeing Second Light here. I have not played any of these games, okay? But Fem Trooper and a couple others have been shouting this game out. I have high hopes for this. I'm excited to get into it. I'm loving what I'm seeing. And I was happy that VGP was running a reprint of Blue Reflection for the PS4. So I was finally able to get that and at retail, which I did not think would ever happen. So I do hear they play differently. So I'm interested to see, because I've heard some people like one and not the other, and it goes back and forth. So I will be ecstatic to finally see for myself if I like these games. Now, returning back to the Final Fantasy games, I did pick up Strangers of Paradise. This was on some pretty wild discount. And Danik just started playing this, and he told me I have to play this. That that it's really good, it plays excellent, and it doesn't overstay its welcome. And for me, I'm always looking for games that are self-aware and don't overstay their welcome. This action gameplay looks right up my alley. Now, I did pick up Magna Carta 2 for the Xbox 360, so don't say you never see any Xbox love here. But I love the first game a ton, and I'll be honest, up until I did my recent video on it, I had kind of forgotten there was a second one that was exclusive to the 360. I don't know how I'm going to play this one just yet because the Xbox Series X isn't technically 100% backwards compatible. So I'm going to try to figure out how to be able to play this. But I hear it switches up the gameplay and everything to where I hear there's diehard fans of the two. Anyways, I'm excited to be able to experience it for myself because I do love the first game. And I may have picked up the deluxe box set for the first game. I love Magna Carta, and I'd had it for a while, a long while in fact. And I just recently, with my video, found out that my copy was actually a part of a deluxe box set, which kind of embarrassingly blew my mind. So I had to go ahead and pick it up. Luckily, I was able to get a best offer on this one because they are not going for cheap anymore. This is actually one of my favorite PS2 collector's edition because it has like an embossed or a textured box. It's gorgeous. I think the game's gorgeous. The character models are some of my favorite in gaming, and I'm excited to have a complete in-box copy finally. Now, big shout out to GameQuest over on Twitter. When I asked for people to shout out weird or obscure games, he shouted out to me Crimson Gem Saga for the PSP, and I'm ashamed to say I'd never heard of it before, and I can always trust him to have an extensive JRPG knowledge set, so definitely give him a follow if you're interested in old school JRPGs. But I'm ecstatic to see more about this one because I still don't know a ton about it. Now, one of my bigger pickups for me, I don't think a lot of people are going to care about this, but I was finally able, towards the end of last year, to pick up a copy of Xenon Valkyrie Plus for the PS Vita. I love Diabolical Mind games. This was the first one, to my knowledge, that they ever put out. And to me, this is just a joy, and I am so happy to finally have all three games physically on the PS Vita. I love these games, and I hope that we can see more from Diabolical Mind in the future. I know you're shocked, but I do have some fan service games on here. 1,000 pardons. But I did pick up Senran Kagura Estival Versus for the PS Vita. Gosh, this has been a little while back when I got this, but I forgot to share it with you all. Now, I've heard from a lot of people this is their favorite Senran Kagura game, and I'm excited to find out. Now, I may or may not have also picked up Peach Beach Splash for the PS4. You know, because I don't like just playing action RPGs or turn-based JRPGs. You know, sometimes you want something with a good story. And I really thought that just the dynamics of a arena-type shooter just was kind of, you know, help round out my gamer profile, so to speak. Judge me if you want to. Now, Danik did gift me a couple of imports for Christmas, and they're so wild, I had to share these. And I'm ashamed that I didn't share them sooner. But we have Dragon Quest VII for the PS1. I love the box art from Japan in this era. I don't know, it's so clean but effective. Now, I have two Sega Saturn games here. He picked me up both Neon Genesis Evangelion games for the Sega Saturn. I can't tell you what these names are exactly just yet, but I'm looking to do a video on them in the future. To my knowledge, I think these are like dating sims or visual novel-esque games. I could be completely wrong. If you know, please let me know down in the comments. But I am looking into using maybe the Steam Deck emulation, maybe try to find a fan translation if there's one out there, and be able to share these with you because, you know, I love weird and obscure games, and yeah, these I think these fit the bill. I'm excited to dive into them. Now, after 2 decades, I have corrected the biggest wrong I've had in my game room, and that is not having a US copy of Vampire Hunter D for the PS1. I just recently did a review kind of showcase of this game on the channel. I'll have it linked in the description, but I love this game. I love Vampire Hunter D. I'm not going to say it's the best game ever, but I loved my time with it. And I can't just recommend it enough to people who maybe are huge Resident Evil fans or especially massive Vampire Hunter D fans. I said it in the video, but I'll say it again here. I'm just sad that Vampire Hunter D has fallen into obscurity. And I know for like diehard fans of Vampire Hunter D, that's kind of like, he'll never fade into obscurity for us. And I agree. but I just wish he had the notoriety still today that he deserves, because to me, Vampire Hunter D influenced so much in anime and hero culture, and I love it, and I think it deserves to have a resurgence. Now, I am currently playing The Legend of Dragoon. Oh my gosh, I am so late to the party on this one. I'm happy to have this physically in my game collection. There's a few other old school retro JRPGs for the PS1 I'm wanting to pick up, and they are going to be painful, but you know what? They're just goals. It's going to be a long-term goal to pick up the last few I'm wanting to get, but yeah, this game is so wild and unique. And yeah, I totally get why the fans are so diehard for this game. The combat system is beyond unique. It's fantastic. The characters, the world building. I just hit probably midway through Disc 2 as of recording this. And yeah, my jaw's on the ground, and I'm having a wonderful time just kind of basking in PS1 nostalgia. Now, huge shout out to Coop over on Twitter. I was able to pick up Poison Control Switch Collector's Edition from him. I love this game, and I only had the Standard Edition. When I saw that he was selling the Collector's Edition for this, I was so happy to be able to pick this up from him. And it's a gorgeous, bright, vibrant Collector's Edition. And yeah, I'm so happy to have it on its shelf right now. If you haven't played Poison Control, it's a third-person action shooter with some pretty wild, unique mechanics, and I definitely recommend it. Now, the last pickup I want to share with you all is King's Quest VIII Mask of Eternity for the PC. This is not a good game. I don't think anyone would say that. That said, I love this game. I have mega nostalgia for it. This is one of the earliest games I ever beat on the PC. I remember just being blown away at the time with the 3D graphics. The controls on this game are pretty notoriously bad. It's kind of before they figured out how action adventure should play. So for me, it's a pretty wild and unique piece of like gaming history, just how 3D development started work. The voice acting in this game is excellent. I love the world and setting of King's Quest, and to me, it's some of my happiest nostalgia in all of gaming. And with that, there's all of my current pickups from the end of last year to April of 2023. I hope you enjoyed this video. I would love to know what your favorite pickups are so far of this year. Please let me know down in the comments. And if you would like to see more videos like this, just let me know down in the comments, and also like and subscribe. It may seem like such a small thing, but it can truly just change the future of the channel. So thank you all so much for the support. And I want to thank all the channel members and patrons for making videos like this possible. From my family to yours, I cannot thank you enough. I wish you all the best, and until then, I'll see you next time.